This week on The Dish, Chef Mario Pagan. He's nothing short of a culinary ambassador for Puerto Rico, the island where he was born and raised, now home to 4 of his fine dining restaurants, featuring food that tells a story through bold Caribbean flavors. Pagan's mission to elevate his island's cuisine led him to an up-and-coming neighborhood in San Juan, where he's transformed a former theater into a dramatic new restaurant. Manuel Bojorquez paid Pagan a visit during a special weekend that was the first of its kind for Puerto Rico.
Some of the food scene's biggest names stepped out last month for a first, a wine and food festival in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Helping to bring a festival like this to the island and showcasing its flavors has been a labor of love for Chef Mario Pagan, a journey that began in his mother's kitchen.
I've always said that my inspiration has been all the women in my life. You know, my aunts, my tias, my abuelas, right? My mom. Get in the kitchen, gossip of what was going on, and cook at the same time. Every time I smell something I like, it takes me back to that.
Right back to his childhood here in San Juan. He left in 1989 to study architecture in Miami, but realized food was always his calling.
What was it like to transition from architecture to cuisine?
Well, very difficult with my parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't a fan. They weren't a fan because, I mean, they were the ones to push me into architecture. And when I told them that I was changing to be a cook, they weren't happy.
They eventually came around when Pagan's profile started rising. He found a mentor, the so-called godfather of modern Puerto Rican cuisine, Alfredo Ayala. Pagan eventually purchased Ayala's restaurant, Chayote. It's what he also named his first restaurant on the U.S. mainland near Orlando, where he continued to develop his modern take on Puerto Rico's roots.
Puerto Rican cuisine is, you know, a mixture in between our cultures, from the Taino Indians to the Spanish conquistadores to the African slaves. I mean, we have a very rich culture.
Pagan now has 5 restaurants, including 4 in Puerto Rico, among them La Central, an open-fire concept centered around rum.
The fact that this was an old theater, in some ways your food is now the performance, right?
Exactly.
We spoke with him at his latest venture here, Mado, where he's serving up Asian, Latin, and Caribbean flavors.
I want to tell you a story with this, and I want you to close your eyes and just flow with it. And that's my philosophy about food, is, as I said, I like to have fun.
That being said, it was time to let the good times roll. Our trip to Asia via San Juan started in his kitchen with the island's traditional dish, mofongo, typically made with plantains.
But why did you choose yuca instead of plantains for this?
Because the shrimp is a Pacific shrimp, and it's very delicate. So I think that what goes really well with this type of shrimp is yuca.
The creamy and starchy root vegetable is mashed with garlic, salt, a compound butter, cilantro, and shiso leaves from Japan.
It's all about the motion. You start, you know, mashing it.
It's a dance.
It's a dance.
The shrimp are topped with a sofrito foam and dried Japanese plum. It's one of several dishes we had the pleasure of tasting.
You're right, though. The yuca is the perfect complement to the shrimp. It doesn't overwhelm that delicate flavor.
Our Pacific Rim journey included a Chinese Mallorca sweetbread, gyoza dumplings with shrimp and local sausage, a grilled octopus with a green banana escabeche, an ahi tuna roll with salted cod crisp, fried chicken with crema and caviar, and a tuna poke sofrito with a uniquely puffed rice.
Right?
Wow, that texture.
Exactly. It's about textures. Just like architecture, right? Different textures over here. Same on the food. It makes it interesting. It makes it fun.
The dishes are beautifully composed too, like the sea bream ceviche and the dessert, a cocoa ginger pavlova with lychee yuzu sorbet and mango.
It's a lot of flavors going on over here, but they make sense. There's a little bit of tarragon with the mango.
Wow. And it's still light. All those flavors, but it's still very light.
Those flavors are sourced locally as much as possible, a nod to growers and producers in Puerto Rico who had to flee after Hurricane Maria devastated the island in 2017 and have since come back.
I think that we've learned a lot with Maria. Of course, my good friend Jose Andres, Chef Jose Andres, is the one pretty much who started this farming expansion that, with sustainability that Puerto Rico has right now. Even though we're not a great percentage, we are getting there little by little.
Are people starting to come back?
There's a lot of people starting to come back. But people are coming back because at the end of the day, it's warmer, it's beautiful. And Maria was traumatic, I get it. But I think that I've seen it because I've had a lot of cooks that left with Maria and they're starting to come back to the island. A lot of chefs that didn't even think about opening in Puerto Rico that were in the States, Puerto Rican chefs, and they're opening in Puerto Rico.
Which is why bringing a wine and food festival to San Juan, where local chefs and ingredients had a chance to shine, was so important to Chef Pagan, helping to put his childhood home on the culinary map.
So everything, the adobo for the chicken, everything that I do, I first think about my childhood, my memories of, with all the women in my life, as I call them.
Yeah. It's part of your DNA.
It's part of my DNA. It's part of my DNA. And now, with drinks, it's even better.
With drinks, it's even better. These are great. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Salud.
Gracias.
All the women in his life.
Yeah, all those memories. Well said, Chef, though. The drink that he has sent for us to have here, El Cordadito, it's his take on an espresso martini and then the tres leches cake, which I had a bite of, and it is so good. You have the live bite. Oh, you put it on the chocolate, too. Michelle, that was risky. Delicious. And I love what he's doing for raising that profile in Puerto Rico for all these restaurants.
Yeah, what you said.
Absolutely
Absolutely
good.
Yummy.